Welcome everybody to a new series of Twofrog Achieves a Lot, a WoW challenge that's all about collecting achievements within the World of Warcraft. I've been playing WoW since about 2005 and frankly things were getting a little bit stale for me, and then I discovered Naval's ZONELOCKED series. This really piqued my interest, and judging by the absolute rash of creators popping up with new challenges, I'm not the only one. So a shout out to and including Lord Naval, Lemonhead, Shax for doing their own zone locked or expansion locked challenges, Patholerics and Zanzaful for doing gold locked, Venario for doing a huge range of challenges that cover pretty much everything, and then finally Dave Last Name, who is actually doing the Achieve a Lot challenge and is the direct inspiration for this series. Thanks Dave. All the links to these awesome creators will be in the comments below. So the rules that I'm choosing to follow: 1. Get all the achievements, sort of, continent by continent. What do I mean by sort of? Well, PvP. I don't find PvP very enjoyable on the whole, except for maybe a little comp stop here and there. So I don't really want to spend heaven knows how long and many hours of my life doing something that I'm not enjoying. So I'm just going to pretend that PvP is not a thing when it comes to this challenge. While we're on the subject of exclusions, I also want to talk about time limited events. These won't be technically part of the challenge because obviously they're time limited, but if it is an event that tickles my fancy, I'll do it. Thinking Legion Remix, anyone? But for the challenge purposes, it's those permanently available achievements that I will be chasing. Let's face it, there is more than enough to keep me going, probably until I'm very old and very grey. Rule number 2. The plan is to complete achievements continent by continent or expansion by expansion before I leave either the continent or the expansion. However, there may be some exceptions here if there is a particularly long grind and it's going to hold up progress. In that case, I've no issue moving on and doing that grind over a longer period while I'm doing other areas. Time gating can be a thing in this game, so we'll just roll with situations like that and do our best. My preference though is absolutely to get things done and as neatly buttoned up as I can before leaving the content. I'll be starting from vanilla and moving from expansion to expansion because, well, doing things in order is nice. 3. Alts. Now eventually I'm going to want all classes and all races to cover their various achievements. There's an awful lot, particularly in regards to Legion Order Halls, where you need one of every class. So they will be coming along. But the bulk of this is going to be done on Twofrog because, again, order is nice. With that in mind, I've started with 2 characters. Grimfrog, who will be my banker dude, and my main Twofrog. The achieviest frog there ever was. Eventually. I've started a brand new battle.net for this challenge because hey, why not? I've only got 20 years of achievements on my old account, so why not start all over again? I've also decided to go on over and play on US realms for a change, despite the time zone differences. If anything, maybe the quiet times that I'll be playing will be helpful. We'll see. I'll also be covering all the various professions, and as I create alts, I'll get a profession that they can then carry through. There's an awful lot of profession related achievements to do as well after all. With regards to dungeons and raids, I'll do them once I can solo them, although I'm not adverse to a little help here and there. This is more of a challenge of sheer perseverance than it is difficulty. I don't mind making life a little bit easier for myself if I can. So, with the housekeeping out of the way, let's get cracking. I started with Grimfrog the Banker, going through Exile's Reach. As a brand new battle.net, I don't actually get the choice to use any other starting zones, so Exile's Reach it is. I went through the training tutorials on the boat, got marooned on an island, and proceeded to kill pretty much everything I came across. I did stuff, I levelled. I found some treasure, I killed a rare. I made friends. I killed some more stuff. And eventually I got my first 2 achievements, level 10 and Fast and Furious. Although the Fast and Furious achievement allows me to ride a mount, I didn't actually have a mount at this point, so I had to stick with Shanks's pony for a little while longer. I got to choose a specialisation and then headed into my first mini dungeon, Dark Maul Citadel. I helped kill more stuff and then demonstrated just how badly I play warrior by dying. Yes, I died in Exile's Reach. Personally, I think you should get an achievement for playing that badly, but sadly not. After a miraculous resurrection, I completed the dungeon and was finally able to leave the island with a shiny set of new gear that had only had a few dents and blood spatters to ruin the shiny new look, and departed for Stormwind. Upon arriving, we gained the achievement for completing Exile's Reach, completed a couple more tutorial quests to finish up, and finally we got a mount to ride, the Golden Griffin. As a new battle net, dragon riding isn't available, so the Griffin will remain a ground mount until Steady Flight becomes available at level 20. I completed Grimfrog's journey by getting the Represent achievement for obtaining our first tabard, and then settled in near the auction house where he'll stay for the time being, doing all of his bankery type stuff. Now it was time for Twofrog's journey to truly begin. Other starting zones are still not available until we get a higher level character, so yes, it was back to Exile's Reach again. This time, without dying. What can I say, I'm a better hunter than I am a warrior. And then we got ourselves set to rock and roll in Stormwind. I chose the Panda tabard this time for the rep gains for when we eventually start doing dungeons. As I received another Griffin, I sold it for 12 gold 50 as I didn't need a second one, as Grimfrog had already obtained it. I picked up some random quests, had a chat with Chromie, and chose the Cataclysm Chromie time to ensure that Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor would scale with us and continue to level us through our journey. I chose engineering and mining for primary professions, as a gnome must absolutely have goggles. I then ran around and also picked up all the secondary professions, fishing, cooking and archaeology. I also now had access to edit mode so I could rearrange my bars to my satisfaction. I could check out the trading post, but I wasn't able to get any tender or access to Traveller's Log just yet. I believe that's around level 20 on a new account. I wasn't going to be able to complete this month's adventure log anyway, as there's only a couple of days left, so I'll get stuck in properly once August rolls around. The achievements I'll be primarily focusing on for now are the questing, exploration, pet battling and collecting in the wild, and the vanilla stages of any professions I have. Dungeons and raids will come a bit later, but levelling won't be an issue, as doing the quests will have me at level 70 in no time. I'll keep an eye on the other achievements as I go and just do things as I find them. I'll try to ensure I start any long grinds as soon as possible, but feel free to let me know if there's a grind I haven't noticed and really should get cracking on. I did my first cooking and fishing daily and obtained an achievement for the Epicurean's cooking reward for the cooking quest. The bag of shiny things that came for the fishing quest didn't have much in the way of shinies this time around, but we'll be doing those on a daily basis, and there are a number of achievements tied to doing these dailies. I did a couple more little fetch quests in and around town, and then ended my day in Stormwind, ready to enter the big wide world of Azeroth in the next episode. So until then, thank you for watching, and should you feel so inclined, please push all the various YouTube buttons that everyone asks for. So until next time, have fun, and may you also achieve a lot.